It's just a fantasy. Whoa, it's not the real thing. Whoa. No, it's not a tribute to Billy Joel. It is time for your greatest episode of America's number 1,217th favorite sports podcast. Politically incorrect, of course.
Your favorite politically incorrect.
It is Sports Frenzy 2.0 here Wednesday night, August the 13th, 2025. I, of course, am joined, as is the case most of the time, by my brother from another mother, the Conquistador Dave Height.
Hey, kids, welcome back.
I, of course, am the maestro Kevin Crane. Why did I start off the show with that bizarre homage to the Piano Man? Because we are starting off first and foremost with, yes, the recap of the 2025 Sports Frenzy Fantasy Football Draft. Now, we had to draft a little earlier than we would have liked. Had some people that are taking fancy, expensive vacations at the end of the month that kind of wiped out.
2 weeks across Europe.
Yeah, so that kind of wiped out everything from roughly the 20th of August on. And then, of course, we selfishly have three concerts coming up in 4 days, so
there you go.
At least based on how things have gone in years past, we found a date, even though it was a little early, and everybody was okay with it. So that...
And everybody showed up.
That in of itself makes me happy.
It's a football miracle.
Yep, so, now, here's the other thing. We run our league through Yahoo, and I had a little fun with this after I put the teams in yesterday. We drafted Monday the 11th. I put the teams in on the 12th. And, of course, Yahoo grades, they've been doing this for a few years, grades everybody's draft. And it's obviously AI generated. It's almost instantaneous. From the second you hit save and start season, 1 minute, 2 minutes later, all these grades pop up. So take it with a grain of salt, because as you guys remember, a week or two ago I was complaining my first practice draft, I got a D+, and I didn't think that was warranted. And now this time around I get an A+, and I don't think that's warranted either. And I felt bad for Bill because he got an F.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's got his Sports Frenzy West draft tonight. But let's go through here. I am very happy that I did get to choose the slot I wanted. I was targeting the second pick as my number one preferred spot, and I got it, so that made me extremely happy. Was not happy that as the draft snakes around, I had to deal with you and Aaron both ahead of me every other round, my two arch nemesis. But again, Aaron only hosed me once with T. Higgins in the fourth round. Otherwise, he didn't really do anything that pissed me off too much.
There wasn't a whole lot to really be overly upset about. I mean, there were a couple of groans, but nobody that...
No, the worst thing about the whole night was the fact I bought this shitty draft kit from Amazon. First time ever. I have been extremely disappointed. I know these are coming from overseas, and they're basically churned out, and they're meant to be cheap.
But come on.
$15.
And they forget second-year players.
Vast majority of second-year players, along with some other players,
yeah,
completely missing. So I had to write out 11 or 12 names throughout the night on stickers. So that was really, really upsetting. Slowed the whole night down. And then, of course, the next morning I go on Amazon because Aaron said like
better
6
put
times.
You better put a review.
Yeah.
Why don't you put in a review?
And so I went to do it first thing Tuesday morning, and I noticed, there's about 10 other people that have already beat me to it, saying this is trash, this is a piece of garbage. And I wrote mine.
Don't use this company
And
again.
I wrote mine, and I still submitted it. Still not out yet. As of Wednesday afternoon, still has not
come
shown
on!
Up. I'm telling you, they don't like my reviews. They will not take my reviews. I don't know if they're too eloquent.
Maybe.
You know? and I'm just supposed to write, misspell
This
a couple
sucks.
words, and this sucks, don't buy. But that was the one big problem. Otherwise, it didn't seem like there was a lot of animosity and a lot of disappointment going on.
No, because I think everybody was along the same mindset we were. It's like, we'll get who we get.
It's a little too early. You're going to get injuries. You still got some holdouts, although Bill's pick of James Cook in the 4th round looking a little better now.
Yeah, now that he just got his new deal.
Yep, James Cook signed a 4-year, $48 million extension with Buffalo, $30 million guaranteed, so he's got to be feeling a little bit better about that. And again, these grades from Yahoo are just garbage.
They're all over the place.
I was happy with my team, obviously. I was able to strengthen my wide receiver position in the middle rounds. I'm still not 100% happy. I don't have a dominant wide receiver unless Terry McLaurin gets into camp. Then I'll feel a little bit better. And then quarterbacks, I just decided I'm going to bail. You guys just tore up the quarterbacks. The top 5 quarterbacks were all gone. Keep in mind, kids, an 8-team league, the top 5 quarterbacks were gone before it snaked back around to me with the 2nd pick in the 3rd round. So it would have been the 7th pick in that round for me. But all 5 quarterbacks gone before the end of the 3rd round in an 8-team league. So I said, screw it, I'm going to wait. I got Bo Nix in the 7th. It was between him and Baker Mayfield. I decided to go with the younger guy with more of an upside with the rushing.
Yeah, I was going to wait another round to take Burrow, but when you took Brock Bowers, who I was targeting in that round, I had to jump on it.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking at this the wrong way.
You were looking the wrong way.
No, I'm still right in that the 5th quarterback went off the board on the 7th pick of the 3rd round.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it bass-ackwards. Yeah. Bill, that was the normal order. So Hurts, the 5th one, went, again, 7th pick of the 3rd round. And I was hoping he would come back around to me, snake around in the 4th. But because I took Bowers in the 3rd, you guys jumped on the quarterbacks after that. And I was not going to take one that early. I just didn't want to.
No, you couldn't, but you kind of tipped my hand at that point.
Yeah. No, I debated it, but I was like, God, it's too early. I was surprised Sam. I knew Jen was going to take Josh Allen.
Oh, well,
I knew that
was a given.
She had the 8th pick, so she had the 2 at the back end of the 1st round, start of the 2nd. She's a Bills fan. I expected it. I did not expect Sam with the 6th overall pick to take Lamar Jackson.
That was a little
For years,
crazy.
He has been on the Patrick Mahomes bandwagon. So that was a little bit of a curveball. Shocked, and I said this when you and I and Sam were talking after the draft on Monday night, shocked that CeeDee Lamb made it into the 2nd round, let alone 3 picks into the 2nd round.
I was not going to take him.
Oh, I would have taken it if he'd gotten to me at the end of the 2nd round, believe me.
Yeah, I do not trust him.
And then Christian McCaffrey, another one. I thought he went middle 2nd round. Even with the injury risk, I thought he would have gone before the end of the 1st round. I don't know. I would have taken Lamb or McCaffrey instead of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would have taken him ahead of A.J. Brown. I would have taken him ahead of Puka Nacua. That's just me. Either one of those 2 guys, and Jonty. I would have taken Jonty as well, ahead of those 3 guys right there.
Yeah.
But Amon-Ra went in the 1st round, Puka went in the 1st round, A.J. Brown went at the beginning of the 2nd with Bill's 2nd pick in the 2nd round. But, again, I don't know if it's because we drafted a little early. I don't know. There wasn't anybody screaming and yelling, going, "Oh, you took my guy, you son of a bitch! How could you do that?"
No, because I think everybody's of the mind that it's a new year and we'll see what happens. There's so much that could possibly go on.
And I don't see any, again, discounting Yahoo's bizarre grading system. I don't see any team where you would go, wow, that's pretty bad. I see maybe 2 or 3 picks total where I would scratch my head a little bit.
It's like you went
Sam
why?
going with Jonnu Smith in the 9th round ahead of David Njoku, Jake Ferguson, Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
That was a reach. That was the biggest reach of the night. I should have put a sticker on that. We had trash talk stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reach.
This company's brilliant at making trash talk stickers, but can't make the player stickers right. But yeah, I would never have figured he would even go in the draft. Period. Let alone in the 9th round.
That would have been a mid-season pickup if you had to.
Yeah. All the other tight ends I could see, even Chigo Okonkwo, very last pick of the draft, he could end up being a sneaky good pick if Cam Ward develops quickly. But yeah, Jonnu Smith, I just don't see. Because you got to remember, he's going to be sharing the tight end situation with Pat Freiermuth in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I guess you could say the same thing about Colston Loveland, who Aaron took in the 10th round.
Yeah, nobody took Kmet.
No, nobody took Cole Kmet. Everybody's overlooking him, I'm telling you. I think they've pretty much written him off. But yet, then you've had the mix of when do you take a kicker, when do you take a defense.
Last 2 rounds.
I bumped him up a couple rounds just because, especially with a kicker, I wanted one of the top 3 or 4 kickers. You still came out good with Butker in the last round.
Yeah.
Aubrey and Bates are the 2 that I like, and Bates went much earlier.
I was torn between Butker and Bass.
Yeah, well, not much earlier. He went the round before.
Yeah.
But Bates and Aubrey are the ones that you can depend upon for the 50-yarders that get you the more points, the 5 points. But again, other than that, I don't know. I don't see anything.
There's nothing horrible. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out season.
There's always going to be players that you're going to value more than other people. You're going to look at somebody else's team, like I did with Aaron's, I'll admit it. After the 4th round, well, maybe the 5th. I don't mind O'Marion Hampton in the 5th. But after that, I just look at it and I go, I really wasn't targeting any of those players. No. Any of them. He did okay up till Hampton in the 5th. But after that, I'm like,
Nobody that I had to have.
Yeah. So, you got the injury risks, like Doug took Joe Mixon in the 9th, which isn't terrible, because if he was healthy, he would have been a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
Yeah, exactly.
He might have slipped to the beginning of the 3rd at worst if he was healthy. But now with the injuries, he drops to 9, so that's not a bad gamble to make. So, again, you'll just have to take our word for it, kids. I don't know if you can go out and look at our league on Yahoo. I don't know if it's searchable, since it's a private league.
Yeah, probably not.
But maybe I'll take a picture of this monstrosity and post it. I can't remember if I did that last year or not.
I think you tried.
Yeah, I don't know if it came out well. But we'll give it another shot this year and see if we can pull it off for you.
But the important thing is we all got together and had a good time.
Yeah, basically one of our quarterly meetings. We get together every four times every year.
Yeah.
So, and of course the draft is one of them, the biggest one usually. Although, you notice, I say, yeah, we're going to be due for one, early December. Oh, I can't make it. Oh, I can't make that. For Doug and Nick. They only show up for the draft. They only show up for the draft. They'll never show up and get together with us otherwise.
Nope. Doug, maybe the draft and one other.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nick, no. Never. And I know he's got a lot going on. kids in athletics and all that.
Yeah, that kills all your free time.
Well, like I said, if you kids want to venture out, we're not going to go through all the picks. We gave you the overview, the highlights, the lowlights. I will try again here by this weekend. I will try to post a picture, see if I can get that up on the Facebook page. Again, like Dave said, I think I tried last year, and I think there was some kind of problem. But, I'll give it a shot again. I shall give it a shot again. Otherwise, go out on Yahoo and you can search Sports Frenzy 2025. And if they'll let you, you can at least look at it. Can't join it. Maybe you can just look at it, though.
Potentially.
But yes, it is fantasy football season, and it is the most wonderful time of the year because the draft is over. The draft is over, and I still watched 3 hours of fantasy football shows this morning.
Trying to see who you can pick up in a trade or a waiver claim already.
David, let's move on. Other NFL news to discuss. Of course, we now have the first full week of the preseason in the books. The Dolphins and the Bears, 2 of our 3 teams, faced off and ended in a 24-24 tie.
Yeah, it was... The one thing... The Bears better get their fucking special teams figured out. They have no kick coverage. They allowed Miami to get great field position on all the kick returns.
Yeah, when I saw the game, there's not a lot I could take out of it. I thought the defense looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
Dennis Allen looks like, and Ben Johnson was fired up. So I like the enthusiasm from those 2 guys.
Yeah. Something that you haven't seen in a long time.
When they had the goal line stand and held Miami out on 4th down, held them out of the end zone, and Ben Johnson was flexing on the sidelines. But individually, I can't take anything away from the.
It's preseason. They're not going to show anything.
Now I will say this. Not trying to say anything about your Dolphins, but Quinn Ewers looked bad.
Oh, he looked awful.
Well, we're going to talk about some of the rookies here and how they did in week 1. Of course, it's week 1 of the preseason.
Come on.
But Quinn Ewers
did not
5 of 18 for 91 yards, and he lost 2 fumbles.
Yeah, not good.
So you better hope Tua stays upright.
No kidding.
If you're going to have any shot.
Oof.
Now, the rest of the big-time rookies did okay. Now, my Buccaneers won against one of them in Tennessee. 29-7, the Buccaneers took care of business. Cam Ward, not bad. 5 of 8, 67 yards. Had a nice connection with one of my picks in the 9th round, Calvin Ridley. So, pretty happy with that. Cam looks fine. He looked.
He'll be okay.
He looked like he is adjusted. In the highlights I saw, he looks like the exact same guy from college.
It'll be just fine.
Yep. Now, you took in the 2nd round Ashton Jaunty.
Yep.
Oh, panic! 3 carries for -1 yards.
We're gonna panic on that. Really? Come on.
Oh, but then the star of week 1, Shedeur Sanders. 14 of 23 with 2 touchdown passes, 138 yards. And we're going to talk more about Shedeur at the end of the show, as I have a very special rank 'em in last call for Dave and I. Trust me, I've got it all tied into a bigger topic. But now the news comes out, Shedeur Sanders will not play in week 2 as he has an oblique injury. So, all you pundits out there who are, I'm rooting for Shedeur. Well, I don't have to listen to your stupid asses this week at least, because he's not playing. Up in Foxborough, we got a statue unveiled of the GOAT, Tom Brady. For once, not a bad-looking statue. We've had so many.
Some that are just so cringeworthy.
Yes, at least this one looked halfway decent. A lot of people criticizing maybe the head's a little small, but then...
That's what she said.
Is that why Giselle left?
Maybe, I don't know.
But then again, people are pointing out he's technically supposed to be in full pads. So that could be
would
causing a
make
little
sense.
bit of the visual difference there. A big win off the field for my man, John Gruden. John Gruden scored a victory in the Nevada Supreme Court. So his lawsuit against the NFL and Roger Goodell can proceed.
Good.
Basically, again, I am not a lawyer. I only play one on a podcast. The judge ruled. Now, the judge would not comment or rule on the emails because they're still saying it's very hard to prove that the NFL and Goodell released those emails on purpose.
Right.
But the part that the judge went off on the NFL about was, and again, bear with me, the NFL cannot force arbitration with a former employee, especially when Roger Goodell is named in the lawsuit and he's involved in the arbitration process.
Yes, that
Gross
total
conflict
of interest.
So the judge said that's an obvious no. So that's how the ruling came down in John Gruden's favor. So we will see where this goes. I am just hoping that somehow, some
Get
way...
Chucky back on the sidelines.
Yes, we need John Gruden back as soon as possible. I love his comments about, there's a lot of head coaches out there who used to work under me. It'd be nice if they offered me a job. Then, one last little, and I do mean little, preseason note. Jacksonville Jaguars kicker Cam Little hit what would have been an NFL record 70-yard field goal.
Had it been regular season.
Yep. So.
Watch out for this kid.
Yep. And of course, I bet you the NFL was wishing it would have been regular season to wipe Justin Tucker out of the record books.
Yeah.
Injuries, of course, part of the game. They will affect our fantasy teams, and they're affecting the real teams right now through the first week of the preseason. Bad news for the Los Angeles Chargers, losing one of the best left tackles in the game, Rashawn Slater. Torn patellar tendon. He is done for the year. So Harbaugh has had to shift. I believe he moved the right tackle to left tackle now, slotting in somebody new at right tackle. But yeah, that's potentially terrible news for Justin Herbert, Omarion Hampton, that entire offense. Indianapolis quarterback Anthony Richardson. Honestly, looking like he could end up being one of the worst draft picks ever. Man on a free rush. They were playing the Ravens. Coming at his strong side, not his weak side, his strong side. Richardson is oblivious to a man rushing him basically right in his face. Gets waylaid and dislocates his finger. Now, the good thing about that is, of course, they pop it back in
and
swelling
put some
will go
ice
down.
on it, and it's all good.
Yep, so we'll see.
But come on, you cannot take a hit like that when they're coming right at your face.
No pocket presence whatsoever.
No,
None. And then we had a scary moment in the Detroit game. Safety Maurice Norris got laid out. They suspended the game because everybody was very, very upset. Had to take him out on an ambulance. Good thing is now he is okay. He's in concussion protocol. Should be fine here in the next week or two.
Thankfully.
And then Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love. I believe they said this was on the final play in their preseason game that he was in.
Yep.
Tore a ligament in his thumb.
On his non-throwing hand.
Right. So he had surgery. He should be good to go.
Yeah, he'll be fine for the start of the season.
Yep. So there you go, kids. There's your fantasy football wrap-up and your NFL preseason Week 1 wrap-up. And, of course, things will only ramp up from here. We will give you updates throughout the year on our fantasy league as well as the real NFL.
Countdown begins.
Lost in your world of fantasy. Look what it's done to me. How many different classic rock songs with the word fantasy can I come up with?
Life is just a fantasy.
Oh, damn, how did I not remember that? How did I not remember that?
Because
considering the trauma from 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's why. The trauma of 2 weeks ago not being able to see the great Aldo Nova. And we got to be careful how much we sing of these songs because then it'll be a trademark infringement.
That's right, because that would be just a rock and roll fantasy.
Oh, that's a great song. Bad Company going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's another good one. I love it. 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 All right, let's move on to the college games, shall we?
Sure, why not?
Last week we discussed the preseason coaches poll. Now the big boy. The preseason AP poll is out. Little different. Texas still number 1, and this I found shocking beyond all belief.
Penn State over Ohio State?
That's a little shocking as Penn State ends up in second.
Yeah, Clemson jumping.
Clemson jumped
4.
up, yep. Not Notre Dame down to 6. Miami holds at 10. But with Texas at number 1, I couldn't believe this. This is the first time ever that Texas has been AP number 1. First time ever AP preseason number 1 for Texas.
Yeah.
With that program's history,
That's mind-blowing, isn't it?
All right, Dave, let's play some trivia.
All right.
I got a trivia question for you. All right, now the power conferences right now are Big 12, Big 10, SEC, ACC, right? So that will give you your playing field for this. Now, we just talked about Texas. First time they've ever been ranked preseason number 1 in the AP, right?
Yep, is that coincidental because they're now in the SEC?
I wonder. I don't know. But could you tell me the only power conference, again, we just named them in the current context, the only power conference team that has never, ever been ranked in the AP preseason top 25? Only one team from those 4 conferences. I got it. Believe it or not, I got it. It's kind of obvious if you think about it. I'll let you mull while we discuss some other topics. We mentioned Notre Dame slid. They were number 5 in the...
See, I would have...
You got a guess? You don't have a guess yet. We mentioned Notre Dame slipped from 5 in the preseason coaches poll to 6.
Wake?
No. Good guess, though. I like that. That's a good guess. So Notre Dame did end up having 2 season-ending knee injuries this past week. Tight end Kevin Bauman, who has had a history of injuries.
Yeah.
And then running back Kadron Young, also done for the year. It's okay. It's okay. You need all the depth you can muster, considering who you're playing here in a couple weeks, as you face off in Miami.
Because they're going to need the defense's starters to rest because of the put down they're going to have.
2 words: Carson Beck, the Lamborghini kid.
Yeah.
We've got issues with gambling.
Again and again.
Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer says he was just joking around a few years ago when he was playing at Washington State. Venmo screenshots
confirm
showing, quote, sports gambling, quote, in the note section or the memo part of it. Again, back when he was at Washington State in 2022, I believe he was betting on two other, back then, Pac-12 teams. Oh, no, I was just joking around. No.
No, it's right there.
Yeah, a couple of Venmo money transfers on the same day back in 2022. And then speaking of money, normally wouldn't really bring something like this up, but Kansas ain't a basketball school anymore, kids. Because the football program just got a $300 million gift. And that will help finance the rest of the stadium renovations for the football team and the area around it.
Damn.
That is the biggest gift ever for Kansas in terms of athletics. And it is one of the biggest gifts in NCAA history.
That is
Any school.
Crazy money.
Yep. So, must be nice. How about you? You couldn't just give them $290 million and give Dave and I $5 million each? Would that have been so hard? You still could have built the rest of the stadium, no problem. Nobody would have noticed that.
Would have been fine. We could have focused on this full time then.
We would have put we would have started covering Kansas every week on this podcast. We're hoarse. We'll admit it. And this goes out to every school out there. If you would like to be featured.
Or professional team.
If you would like to be featured each and every week, and you would like to have Dave and I pretend that we think you're the best team ever, all it costs, $5 million apiece. I think that's a very reasonable price to pay.
Yes, it is.
Any idea yet, or should I tell you before we move on from college football? You're gonna
trying to think bottom feeding teams.
Well, obviously that you're on the right track, but you're ignoring the one obvious one. I'll give you a hint. SEC. Long-term SEC team.
Oh God.
Our favorite, I use favorite in sarcastic quotes, quarterback played there.
Yeah, I'm drawing a complete blank.
Vanderbilt.
Oh, yeah. The Commodores.
Yep.
Friggin' Cutler.
Oh, you love Jay Cutler, right?
Should have been so good, and he was such a head case.
Well, when he bailed on the Packers game in the playoffs, that was it. He lost every Bears fan.
Oh yeah.
On that one. Yeah, you can't leave us high and dry when we're that close. No. That was, dare I say, a pussy move?
Big time.
All right, little bit of basketball news. Not a lot, but a little bit. A little bit of fun here, too. Let's do it reverse order. Let's start off with college basketball, because we do have one big news item here in college basketball. Dave will be happy about this, as I am as well. A North Carolina judge has dismissed the NIL lawsuit that the champion 1983 NC State Wolfpack team had filed.
Good.
Of course, we want money, we should get money.
Shut up.
On to the pros. First the men, the NBA. If you care, and I don't, all I'm going to tell you is the opening night schedule has been released. You look it up if you want to, because I don't give two rip shits. I'm mad at the NBA. I'm mad at Peacock for this $3 a month increase, and now we're going to see it, and we'll get to it in a few minutes. We're going to see it with another streaming service as well.
Yeah. So why are the two finals teams both not playing on opening night?
I don't care.
Why do you have to throw the Lakers out there?
Because they're the Lakers. Yeah, nobody. I know we're still a ways away from starting the season.
I know you got two games for the West. Why don't you have one from the East?
Because the East is going to be weak this year because of all the injuries.
Whatever.
So saith the pundits.
The pundits are assholes.
And the pundits even aren't buying into the Lakers.
So there you are.
So yeah, why are they getting opening night?
It's like giving the Cowboys opening night.
Because what the other game is actually halfway decent. What, it's the Rockets and the Thunder?
Yeah.
With Kevin Durant now on the Rockets. That could be an interesting game. But yeah, who cares about the Lakers? Really?
Yeah, nobody
Who are they
cares
playing,
about
the Warriors?
Yeah. Ooh, big deal.
Good news for you. I know you are a somewhat of a Celtics fan. Head coach Joe Mazzulla got a multi-year extension.
That's good. A little stability.
Yep, because it's going to be a tough year or two here.
Yeah.
As they wait for Jason Tatum to come back. And then the Portland Trail Blazers were sold to Tom Dundon, who happens to also own the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes. And he has promised, when they promise something, they never break those promises. But he has promised the team will stay in Portland.
For the time being, until he can build a new stadium down in Carolina. Because he's got to have a multi-sport arena.
Yeah, but the only problem is I don't know if they would allow it because it's too close to the Charlotte Hornets. Wouldn't that be too close? And the Charlotte Hornets have not had a great history. So you probably have to move the Hornets again.
Why would it matter?
If you're going to move another team in.
You have 2 teams in L.A., 2 teams in New York.
Those are different animals altogether. Different altogether. Chicago can't even get a second team. Although Chicago doesn't deserve any teams right now.
No, they do not. And we'll get to that here shortly.
Yep. In the WNBA.
How many dildos were thrown this week?
I was disappointed, Dave. I watched a big chunk of the Fever game last night, which they lost by 1. They're 18 and 15 now. Still in the playoffs, but a little precarious. If they start to go on a losing streak, they could get knocked out. They lost 2 more players to injury. Sydney Colson with an ACL. Ari McDonald with a broken foot, done for the year. This team has no depth right now. They basically have a rotation of about 7 players right now, and that's it. But yes, no dildos last night. No dildos.
That's good.
But of course, Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve, who happens to be an old, ugly lesbian. Dave and I started this off last week talking about the dildos on the court. I think we're up to 7 now.
Yep.
Cheryl Reeve says these dildos, and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm very close. These dildos are just another example of the centuries-old sexualization of women. Good Lord, she's like the female version of Popovich. The centuries-old sexualization of women. Number one, this is part of the problem with America, is that for
being
decades,
a repressed society.
Yes, we are so repressed, and she's a perfect example of it. The Carpet Muncher is a perfect example of it. The sexualization. What's wrong with women being sexualized? It's a compliment.
Women do it to men, and they don't get called out for it. Women do it to other women, and they don't get called out for it.
And wouldn't a dildo be the sexualization of men? If you threw a rubber vagina on the court, that would be the sexualization of women, right?
I would think so.
I think Cheryl Reeve's all screwed up.
in more
I
ways
think,
than
yeah,
one.
She's got issues, sexual identity issues. But yeah, don't start me on how repressed America is when it comes to sex. You gotta ask permission. Can I have written permission to touch your boobie? This world. This pathetic, repressed world we live in. All right, let's move on to baseball. As Dave alluded to, we gotta talk about our pathetic teams. And they are both pathetic. Ignore the records because they are both pathetic.
Pretty much, I think the Sox have, since the All-Star break, the Sox have one more victory than the Cubs.
That wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me one bit. White Sox are 44-77, lost 1-0 today to the Detroit Tigers, so they are now 25.5 games out in 5th place. Oh, remember the good old days about a month ago, Dave, when the Cubs were in first place and everything was wonderful and it was looking like we were going to be one of the best teams in baseball?
And now, my, how the tides have turned.
Even though their record sounds decent at 67-51, they are in second place now, 8 games out. 8 games behind Milwaukee, who just does not fucking lose, and they beat people up.
Yeah, they were, 11-game win streak right now?
12. They won again today. They won again today. 12-game win streak.
What, 2 weeks ago, they ended an 11-game win streak, and now they're on a 12-game win streak.
Yeah, I think they said something.
The first time in history a team has had multiple 11-plus game win streaks.
Yep. So in and of itself, I'm not blaming the Cubs for that. They can't do anything about that except when they play the Brewers.
Right, but they're not taking care of business themselves.
No, the offense, again, has fallen asleep.
The 4th straight year where you
At least four.
You essentially, for 4 years, 3 for sure, this is the 3rd for sure year, they've essentially had 6 starters who have been the same, that can't hit.
They start off like a house on fire.
Shaw. You basically swapped an underperforming Cody Bellinger for Kyle Tucker,
who is underperforming
in a contract year.
Yeah.
Who wants $500 million deal? He ain't getting it with this shit.
No. Now, I didn't think they were going to pay him either way, even if he launched 40 home runs and hit 300. But now, playing like this, he's putting up Ian Happ numbers. A good Ian Happ year is what Kyle Tucker's doing right now. Nobody on Pete Crow Armstrong has fallen.
He is
fallen on hard times. You look at that Cubs lineup, and everybody was hitting 260, 270, 280. Now they're all down to 250, 240.
2 in Tucker's case.
Yep, so the Cubs, 8 games back, still in the wild card, but if they don't turn things around...
The Reds are coming for them.
If they don't turn things around, they're going to miss out again. And it's going to be another epic collapse.
Because the front office didn't do anything to address issues in the offseason, and they didn't do anything at the deadline.
Nope. And I'm sure we'll have more to talk about on this for the next month and a half. Let's move on to Seattle. Now, Seattle playing very good baseball right now. 8-game win streak for them. They also retired Ichiro's jersey. Now, why do I say jersey? Because they have a little bit of a conundrum in Seattle when it comes to baseball. They retired Ichiro's jersey, number 51, and he will be getting a statue in 2026 as well. But Randy Johnson also was number 51, so Randy Johnson's jersey, number 51, will also be retired. That will be next year, along with Ichiro's statue.
Yep, so the 51 will be done for 2 players.
Yep. All right, this is time for our weekly little look at our couple fun facts.
Our stat lines.
We'll start off with the Rockies. Colorado Rockies are 32-88.
They had a little skid, but then have bounced back now with 2 straight wins.
So basically they're at the same spot they were 7 days ago. 267 winning percentage. And they're still on pace to go 43-119.
Need another losing streak there, kids. All right, 300 hitters. We are at 8 this week, down from 9 last week. Judge still leads the way at 337, 2 points lower than last time. Sitting at 8 is Guerrero Jr. at 300. You got 3 players at 297, 1 at 294, 1 at 293, 2 291, and 1 at 290. I go down to 290 because they are within a hot streak of being able to make it.
Yep. And another, we've mentioned him in the past, another guy that's messing things up is the Dodgers' Will Smith, because he keeps flirting with eligibility.
In and out.
In terms, since he's a catcher, he doesn't play every day, so that he keeps jumping in and out of the eligibility for the batting title. So we'll see if at the end of the season, because he was hitting over 300.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time for my weekly look at the New York baseball teams. We'll give you one good thing, and then we'll laugh about another. Although we shouldn't laugh, because it's kind of mean. But
that's who we are.
Yeah. Congratulations to Pete Alonso, as last night he passed Darryl Strawberry. He now has the most home runs in Mets history. He actually hit 2, so he is at 254. And I find it very fascinating. To me, that's a low number.
That's it?
That's a low. But here's the thing. That's what I thought, too. You know, and there's some teams like the Yankees have got tons of guys way, way up there. The Padres?
Nobody over 2?
Nope. Manny Machado right now. I think
Really?
I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's about 187. He's the all-time home run leader for the Padres.
In a Padres uniform.
Right. Now, that's the tricky thing as well, is that you got to remember, it's for the overall numbers, you can play for multiple teams. But when it comes to
Something
a team's
like
history, it has to be when you played for that team and that team only. So, like Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
He's going to split some with the Pirates as well as with the Giants. So you got to keep that in mind as well when you're looking at these team records. But I guess congratulations to Pete Alonso.
There you go. Congrats.
Gambled on himself. So he's got an opt-out after this year. So the Mets are going to have to pay even more money
if they want
to retain him. And then on the other side of New York, with the Yankees, they had New York Yankees Old Timers Day. And of course they had a game. They bring out the old guys and everybody's mad. Derek Jeter didn't play. I don't give a fuck about Derek Jeter.
Who cares?
I did my little rant a couple weeks ago. I'm not going down that road again, but they had the Old Timers game for the Yankees. And again, I'm half happy about this and half I feel bad. But Mariano Rivera tore his Achilles.
Oh, no.
During the game.
Well,
So,
considering the allegations against him and his wife.
which we haven't heard much about lately.
No.
But
Karma, bitch, be thy name.
Yeah, what they were doing an interview, I believe, with Roger Clemens after the Old Timers game. And he told the broadcast booth, oh, yeah, they had to cart Mariano out. He's at the hospital right now.
Jeez.
And, of course, oh, no, not one of our legendary, awesome Yankees players. Fuck the Yankees. I want that printed up on T-shirts. I bet somebody has.
Oh, I'm sure it's out there.
There's got to be a nice set. Fuck the Yankees. Fuck the Cowboys. Fuck fuck the Lakers. You know?
Yes.
And then finally in baseball, the Minnesota Twins, after their fire sale at the trade deadline, now the Pohlad family has officially pulled them off the market. So they're no longer for sale.
Yeah, you got a few of them out there.
Dave just looked up these shirts. There's fuck the Yankees. I see fuck the Red Sox. Of course, yuck the Fankees. Fuck the Astros. Fuck Juan Soto. I love it.
Yuck the Fankees.
Yeah.
Golf Foxtrot Yankee. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you can get anything on the internet, kids.
Yep.
That's not always a good thing.
So yeah, again, to wrap it up, the Twins pulled off the market. Now the Pohlads are seeking new investors.
Yeah.
After you've just gutted the roster.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really attractive team. No way in hell am I investing in that team. And again, how stupid was it for them in Minnesota to have an open air stadium when they had a chance to build another dome?
I know it. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to just some other sports topics here real quick. And then we'll get to our NASCAR stuff and then the usual stuff we do at the end of the show. We do have one entry in Frenzy 5-0.
Bum, 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 bum.
Miles Garrett.
Oh, Miles.
Miles just got paid. Now, Miles Garrett has had traffic issues in the past.
Yes,
if you recall,
he
kids,
has.
He had a little bit of a crack up a couple years ago. Got injured. I believe he rolled his car into a ditch.
Yeah.
Now he is cited for driving 100 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone. Now, maybe I'm naive. You know how I feel about celebrities and athletes and how they get pampered treatment from the justice system. 40 miles over the speed limit. He hit triple digits. He got a $250 ticket.
They knocked out the reckless driving charge.
$250 fine. I don't know if there's a difference. And it said as long as he pays the fine, he doesn't even have to show up to court.
Oh, come on. Where's the
Doesn't that
reckless...
seem light? Doesn't that seem
Yeah,
light?
he should be getting a reckless driving charge on top of that.
For 40 miles an hour over the speed limit? It seems light to me. I
That's
thought I was
very
losing it.
light.
But a $250 fine seems very light to me.
Yeah, it is.
And he doesn't even have to go to court.
Bullshit. You hit triple digits like that, 40 over, you damn well better be facing a reckless driving charge and have to appear before the judge.
See, this is what I thought too. Thank you. Again, this is why you and I have been friends for 35 years, is because
Fucking celebrity gets its way.
we're the only ones that seem to truly see things for what they are. And then, of course, head coach Kevin Stefanski, who, once again, I will say, wants the hell out of Cleveland.
God.
Said he is extremely disappointed because, of course, Myles Garrett is a team leader.
Not...
And also, they've got a ton of money invested in him. So
Yeah.
I'm worried about the people out there that you could hurt, and I'm worried about you getting hurt.
Was he racing Shedeur and Shedeur just got away this time?
Oh, my God.
Just asking.
Yeah, those Cleveland athletes seem to have a problem with driving, don't they?
Yeah, kind of like the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah. Yep. All right, golf. We already went off on a rant last week about the loophole and how Rory got away with skipping a week in the FedEx playoffs, but Justin Rose won the St. Jude Championship.
Came down to a serious tiebreaker.
Yeah, him and J.J. Spawn. And then felt bad for Tommy Fleetwood. That guy he can't close the deal. He's a great golfer. Multiple top fives, top tens in big tournaments.
He's
but
not a last day guy.
No, went into the fourth round with the lead, couldn't hold it. But my Clint Eastwood badass of the week is one, you know him, you love him, Scotty Scheffler. You know why, kids? Because Scotty ended up pretty good finish at the St. Jude. Believe he tied for third. But, and I could be wrong on that, but he was top 8 at worst. Because the stat that I saw is that the St. Jude Championship was his 12th straight top 8 finish in a PGA Tour event.
Wow.
No other golfer has done that since, wait for it, Tom Weiskopf in 1973.
Damn.
So again, Scotty Scheffler with 12 straight. Yes, I do have it. I see it here now. He tied for third. He did tie for third.
Yep.
So 12 straight top 8 PGA Tour finishes has not been done. Do the math, kids. 52 years. So he is my badass of the week.
Well earned.
All right, before we move on to NASCAR, a little bit of fight news. UFC news, of course, it'll impact your streaming costs.
Yeah. Paramount Plus, Skynet, or whatever, the Skyview, Skyline, whatever the fuck it is.
Skydance.
That's it.
Yeah, Skydance, the company that bought them. Yeah. Yep, so the TKO Group, which of course owns UFC as well as the WWE, who have their own deal, which I'm pissed off about with ESPN. We talked about that last week. Now this week the UFC
bails on ESPN.
Because they got about double
Yeah.
per year.
From Paramount Plus and Skynet.
Skynet. They got a 7-year deal worth $1.1 billion a year. Again, that's at least, if not over, double what ESPN was giving them.
So kids, expect your Paramount Plus subscriptions to increase to pay for the UFC.
Yep, that's starting in 2026.
Now you won't have to pay additional pay-per-view charges.
Yeah, see, this is what pisses me off, is because now it's flipped.
Yeah, before WWE was
all you had to have
on
a Peacock.
Now UFC, all you have to do is have Paramount Plus.
And now you basically have to do a pay-per-view with WWE again because you got to pay $30 a month for that stupid-ass ESPN app.
Ugh.
And then Dana White.
It's getting really damn close to bailing on sports, isn't it? Watching it live.
I told you I just bought a whole bunch more DVDs this week. I'm just going to watch my DVDs. I'm tired of this. It's ridiculous. Last thing on the UFC. Dana White, of course, the big wig, the head of UFC, confirms that on July the 4th, 2026, we will indeed get a UFC bout at the White House. Of course, it doesn't shock me because those two, Trump and Dana White, are thick as thieves.
You can't have a live audience. The security would be a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, and they're gonna pull this off logistically in less than a year.
Ugh, I don't know.
Because how many?
Because
where do they normally have the UFC fights? I'll admit my ignorance, kids. I don't follow the UFC. I don't watch UFC. But don't they have them in basketball arenas?
Usually it's some type of an arena, yeah.
10, 15,000 attendance normally, kind of, if not more. Yeah, this is going to have to be a very ritzy, private, invite-only type event. And they'll let the plebs like us watch it on Paramount Plus.
Now, if they're smart, they would block off Pennsylvania Avenue and have the ring set up there. But still, if you put up any type of risers and bleachers and whatnot, you're still within the zone.
And you wonder if what we heard this week from the president isn't the first step towards getting the city ready for something like this. Because he's going to wipe out the homeless population. He's going to wipe out crime. So I would appreciate it if he would kind of do more for the entire country instead of focusing on D.C., but I guess I understand he's going for, this is supposed to be our figurehead for the rest of the world to see.
The capital city, which has been...
We don't want to embarrass ourselves with our capital being...
a cesspool, which it has been for a long damn time.
Yeah, so I get that part of it. I do. And I will have a little bit more on the weekend edition involving our president. And yes, I know a lot of people hate him. And he does have his faults, but there are a lot of very cool things he does. And
there's some very intriguing things.
When we get to the weekend edition, kids, it's Saturday morning. Your favorite politically incorrect pop culture podcast.
Concert review. We have a review of the movie Fight or Flight.
Yep, and again, I will be talking a little bit in the music portion about our president. So you do not want to miss that, kids. All right, so we move on to NASCAR. We have got our Watkins Glen recap, and then we will have our picks for the second to last race in the 2025 regular season in the Cup Series, the Cookout 400 from Richmond. But of course, Watkins Glen, the race itself was boring. But the events around the weekend were definitely not dull.
No, they were not. Oh, Connor.
Yep, going back to Saturday, to the Xfinity Series. We normally don't discuss the Xfinity Series because I don't discuss minor league sports. But Connor Zilisch was going to run in the Cup Series on Sunday and probably be the main competitor for one Shane Van Gisbergen. But as he celebrated, yes, he did win the Xfinity race at Watkins Glen. As he was in victory lane, climbing out of his car to celebrate.
1 foot on the roof, one on the door, climbing out. Foot on the door, slips in, and he does a header.
It did look bad.
I thought he might have snapped his ankle too, but wound up concussed and broke his collarbone.
Now, I have not seen any updates in terms of how long he's going to be out, because he is in contention for the Xfinity Championship.
Yes. Ugh.
Now, I did read a very funny story about his hospital stay after he had his successful surgery to fix the collarbone, get it in place. He was given a wristband, because in hospitals how you get the wristbands for certain things.
Yeah, that you're a patient and has all your information so they can confirm who you are.
Yeah, Connor Zilisch was given a wristband that said fall risk. So.
Well, that would be if he's concussed too.
Yeah, that's funny though.
But
it's
that's
a little
funny.
Little funny.
That's funny.
Little funny. And then, of course, moving on to Watkins Glen for the Cup guys on this past Sunday. Without Connor Zilisch, it was pretty much SVG's race to lose, and he did not lose. The strategy was perfect.
Yeah, he wasn't going for stage points.
No, he did not. He got a few, but not many.
Yeah.
But it was all about winning this race, setting himself up for the playoffs, because I'm still convinced what the plan is for him in Trackhouse. By the way, a no-brainer here. This past week, Trackhouse announced a multi-year extension with Shane Van Gisbergen already.
Go figure.
But he wants to get as many playoff points and wins as possible. I think he wants to get through that first round.
Yeah.
Give himself something of a cushion so he's not eliminated right off the bat, and then get to the Roval.
Yeah.
Which is going to obviously be his best shot at winning a race in the final 10. I think that's got to be their strategy.
They have to be looking at that.
Yep. Now, the Watkins-Glen race itself, again, was boring. It was dominated by Shane Van Gisbergen, by the way. Kudos. Crack a beer for us because we both picked him.
Yep. So did Doug. Doug with 2 wins, joining me with 2 wins now.
So now I feel a little bit better about him, even though points-wise he is miserable. But he is going to get a huge bump up once the playoffs start. No, I'm not going to rip into the namby-pamby, everybody gets a trophy rules that we set up last year because of Bill.
Yep, but we always cover that on Spotify, Good Pods, Pocket Cast, Apple, Overcast, CastBox, Amazon, Audible, and iHeart Sports Frenzy, baby. And to UB2B.
And of course, again, we mentioned it. We've taken a picture, by the way.
Yep.
We had a quick little break. You probably couldn't even tell because it was so seamless. We took a break. We took a picture of the draft board. So I will do a little digital magic. I will crop it, sharpen it up, and get it out within the next couple days for all of you kids to gaze upon the greatness of our 8-team league. But yeah, that was the 4th win of the year for Shane Van Gisbergen. Doesn't it seem like every year they change the restart zone?
They're always fucking around with the restart zone and what you can and can't do.
Yeah, because they moved the restart zone right into turn 7.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I completely hate, gotta pick your lane. No.
Oh, the choose?
No choose line. No choose. I hate that.
It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you. I don't care. There's plenty of other things, more important things, that NASCAR has fucked up that they need to fix.
That's just one of them. It's the little things that add up to the big stuff.
Yep. All right, and as our duty is, we'll talk about on occasion, duty. F1, or in this case, IndyCar. Alex Palou clinched his 3rd straight IndyCar championship this past weekend. He now has 4 total. So congratulations to Alex Palou.
It's a hell of a driver.
And this leads us into race 25 of the 2025 Cup Series regular season. This week and then next week at Daytona, and then we are in the playoffs. Just in time for everybody to tune out when football starts.
That's right. God help us.
Race 25, Saturday night, August the 16th. We will not be watching. We will have other engagements and things that we're doing.
Yep, we have a concert to attend.
We will be going round and round.
With Way Cool Jr.
Listen to the weekend edition. We'll fill you in a little bit more, kids. If you can't figure out from those heavy implications of what we're doing Saturday night. The Cookout 400 this coming Saturday night at Richmond. And it was amazing to me. I get the feeling, and I mentioned this at the draft Monday. Now, I specified Doug. But just overall, I think everybody's paying more attention.
They're starting to
do a little research.
Do a little bit of research for finding things out.
Because there's a clear-cut, obvious favorite for Richmond. But again, we're 25 races in. You can only pick a driver 3 times max. So some people have maxed out on this driver. 4 of us were
Some
left.
of us have saved him specifically for this race.
Yeah, there were 4 out of the 8 of us who still had this driver available. First 4 picks I got in were those 4 people and that driver.
So it's Denny Hamlin for you, me, Bill, and Doug. Wow, Doug is paying attention.
Yep, he could get a third win here before we start the playoffs. And then we're still waiting on Mrs. C. She's got an hour and a half before the deadline, so we're all good there. The other three picks are...
The elder statesman Sam takes Christopher Bell, Nick going with William Byron, and Aaron Kyle Larson.
And, of course, the reason why they didn't go with Denny Hamlin is they've already maxed out. So they could not take him. So to recap, Denny Hamlin for Kev, Dave, Bill, and Doug. Elder Statesman takes Christopher Bell. The Big Easy takes Kyle Larson. And the Juggler takes William Byron. I do not like the William Byron pick. He is not especially good at Richmond.
No, he is not. But you pick who you got.
Yep. And so that leads us into Moments of Silence. And we do have a few this weekend since we just finished up with NASCAR and racing. Terrible, tragic story over the weekend at Bowman Gray Stadium in the Sportsman Series. Robbie Brewer. Terrible situation.
Longtime racer on the Sportsman circuit, and there at that particular track. Medical emergency, I think they said, suffered a heart attack during the race and went head on into the wall.
Yep, unfortunately, that was enough. That was it. We have lost Robbie Brewer. So thoughts and prayers.
To family and friends.
Yep, and everybody,
fans.
Everybody in the Sportsman Series. Terrible circumstances. Awful, terrible circumstances. In football, a couple of legendary wide receivers for specific franchises. Green Bay wide receiver Billy Houghton passed away. And then the news just broke a little bit before we started in on tonight's podcast. Broncos legend, wide receiver Lionel Taylor passed away. Lionel Taylor was the first player in AFL or NFL history to have 100-catch season.
Wow.
So,
thoughts and prayers to their family and friends.
And, of course, their respective fan bases.
Yep.
A couple of old school legends. And so what does that mean, Dave?
It's time to pivot. We have to pivot from honoring the fallen greats to making fun of the idiots of the world.
That's right. We have 4 nominees this week
for the Red Foreman Dumbass of the Week.
Let's start off with C.D. Lamb. C.D. Lamb was in street clothes, was not playing in the Dallas Cowboys preseason opener. But that didn't stop him from getting taken down
by a referee.
C.D. Lamb was not paying attention, celebrating what was a potential big play. I believe Joe Milton was quarterbacking at the time, threw a pass down the field.
Yep.
C.D. Lamb was not aware of where he was. He was on the wide white stripe, which is reserved only for the referees and officials.
Yep, he was in the no-man zone. No player zone.
And so one of the officials who's paying attention to the play, not paying attention to the idiots who are not supposed to be in this white area,
plows into the back of C.D. Lamb. Both of them go down. You know, it would have been poetic justice if Lamb would have been injured on that.
He did get a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, though.
As well and just, because it's clearly in the rules, no players or coaches are allowed in that area during a play.
So, C.D. Lamb, you are indeed a dumbass. Now, I could have easily turned this into a last call, but since I have something much more special for that, I'm going to finagle this in as a dumbass. And I'm calling out the sports media. Because of course, all we heard about this weekend was Jen Powell. Jen Powell was the first woman to umpire a Major League Baseball game. And that's all fine and dandy.
That's great.
And I'm sure she does a better job than a lot of the idiot men, because we know there are a lot of idiot men as umpires in Major League Baseball.
Yes, there are. There's been a plethora of them over the years who never should have been allowed behind the plate. Angel Hernandez, Joe West.
So good for her. Good for her. But here's my problem. And of course, the media fawned all over this, saying she broke the, quote, gender barrier, unquote. We're never going to get to true equality if our idiot media doesn't stop pointing this shit out and acting like we should all supplicate ourselves. Oh my God, she's the first woman. Great. So
Wonderful.
Now we move on and we'll hire another one. And we'll hire another one. As long as they're competent, that's all I care about. Right. That's all we should care about.
Get the call right.
That's all we should care about in any part of life.
Yeah.
In any task, any job. I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're gay, you're straight, you're a man, you're a woman. Do the job right. Don't act like we're doing something special here, because that's not equality. You're actually causing inequality by pointing this out. So for the sports media, shut your faces, acknowledge her briefly, and move on. Okay? Go back to pointing out the idiot men who call pitches right down the middle balls. Okay? And let's get them out. And then we'll get another woman in. That's fine. But until we stop focusing on this bullshit, this DEI bullshit that I thought we were getting rid of, we're never going to achieve true equality. All right. I'm sure most of you have heard by now of the Department of Homeland Security and the ICE division setting up the Speedway Slammer here in Indiana.
Oh, Lord.
But this not a great look here as they are promoting this on their X account.
This is really frickin' pathetically bad.
On their X account, they thought they would post, a little bit of PR stuff for the Speedway Slammer. So that, of course, it's Indiana, so they use a race car. And they happen to put the number 5 on the side of the race car.
What's wrong with the number 5, you ask? That would be the number for one Alex Palou. Pato Award.
There you go.
Pato Award. Well, what's wrong with Pato Award? Pato Award is a Mexican racer.
He's the only Mexican racer in the IndyCar series.
Not by accident here, kids.
Yeah.
God, the stupidity of this.
Didn't anybody think, let's take 2 minutes and figure out who number 5 is? Or let's pick a number that right now doesn't have a driver so we don't cause any problem?
Why do you even have to have a number?
But yeah, to pick number 5 and end up being Pato Award, the only Mexican driver in the series, and you're promoting a detention center for illegal immigrants, most of whom come from Mexico.
Such a bad look.
And speaking of bad looks, our fourth and final contestant this week is a frequent contributor to the Dumbass of the Week. I hate her fucking guts. She is the typical, perfect example of a snowflake. And she doesn't learn. I don't care if she's a mother now. God help me what her kid's gonna turn out like. Yes, I'm talking about Naomi Osaka. Just as she's starting to make a tennis comeback and playing well and gets to the finals of the Canadian Open, she loses, she looks bad, She looks like she's on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
Again.
She loses to young phenom Victoria Mboko. And then they all have to talk, right? It's required. The winner and the person that finishes in second place have to walk up to the microphone and give a quick address thanking everybody. Naomi Osaka barely thanked anybody. She thanked the crowd, did not acknowledge Mboko at all. Did not say anything like, thanks for a great match, you are a true champion.
Congratulations.
All she basically said was, thank you everybody for being here and supporting me. Thanks, bye.
Idiot.
Now I'm paraphrasing, but that's close.
Why?
She is a typical, sulky, spoiled snowflake brat who thinks the entire world revolves around her. And again, I am not unsympathetic to mental health problems. We've always said here on this show, take them seriously and get the help you need. But when you start going over the top with it,
when you start using it as a crutch,
when you're not leaving it in your therapist's office, let's put it that way, and you're bringing it out in public and parading it around for everybody to see because you want sympathy and you want everybody to coddle you and nurture you, that's where I have a problem with it. That's when you become a problem with society, you are a burden on society, you are a fucking snowflake, and you are a dumbass. Yet again, Naomi. So there you go, Dave. You got Naomi Osaka. You've got the sports media fawning over Jen Powell. You've got C.D. Lamb, and you've got DHS and ICE with their Speedway Slammer ex-post.
Oh, God. Because I'm not a fan and because I hate the Cowboys, C.D. Lamb.
You know who I'm going with. I can't stand her.
You got to go with Naomi Osaka.
I can't fucking stand her. She is everything that is wrong with this world.
There you go.
And I think the only reason I wouldn't put her on the plane of doom is because she does have a child. I would be doing that child a favor by putting her on the plane of doom.
But we are not even that cruel.
No. So you, of course, can drop us a comment, drop us a line, Facebook page, or on any of our podcast host pages that accept comments. And let us know who you think the dumbass of the week is. You do that every week, kids. You can do it every single episode, weekend edition, sports edition.
And you know, if something comes out in between, as long as we get it before a Wednesday morning, we'll take your nominees.
Yeah, definitely. We're not promising it, but if it's good, we'll take it.
Consider it.
We will definitely take it. We are content whores. You give us a good idea, we will run with it.
And we will give credit where credit is due.
See, I wasn't going to go there, Dave. Why would you go there?
Because one of us has to be the one with integrity.
I thought I was the one that played the lawyer on the podcast.
But I'm the moral compass.
Yeah.
Pointing straight down.
All right, kids, so that leads us to last call. Don't do it every week, but when we've got a topic that needs some special care and attention, we've resuscitated our old cable access feature. Yep, last call. This week I want to talk about sports nepotism.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Nepotism in any form is bad. But it seems like as a society we are getting worse and worse with rich people, celebrities, athletes, acting like their children
are the next great thing.
The children are already set for life. They can pursue whatever career they want. But all these parents are doing is actors are driving their kids into acting. Athletes are driving their kids into athletes. Politicians are driving their kids into corruption and drugs. But of course, we're focusing here
But
on
doesn't that
sports.
fall into athletics and movies too?
Yeah, that's true. But because of the fawning reaction by the sports media to Shedeur Sanders' first appearance in the NFL, I thought we'd have a little fun here with sports nepotism. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to bounce this off your Uncle Dave first. Very simple. I'm going to give you 3 names. Because here's the part that really stuck with me. And I heard this from multiple idiots, multiple talking heads in the sports media this past week. We're rooting for Shedeur Sanders. I'm really rooting for Shedeur Sanders. I'm really rooting. I don't care one way or the other if these people succeed or not. If they're good at the sport,
fine, they'll succeed.
But
if they suck,
I don't
they
have
won't.
to root for them unless they play for my team.
Well said.
I'm not rooting against them. I'm not rooting for them. But these idiots, these sycophants in the media, I'm rooting for Shedeur Sanders. Why? Because he failed miserably with his attitude and his interviews, and so he plummeted to the 5th round? That's his own fault.
Exactly.
Why should I root for him now?
If he would have taken it serious.
Here's what I got, Dave.
All right.
I'm going to give you 3 names, and I want you to put them in order. Okay? Now, again, I don't want to say we're rooting for anybody.
Best to worst, or who has the best chance at success?
No, not necessarily that, but of the 3, which one would be the least objectionable to you? So that'll be the first, the top one. Okay. Of these 3, if this man were to win someday in his chosen athletic profession, you would be like, okay, that's fine. Versus, and then we go down 2, and 3 is the one where you go, God, yeah, there was a part of me there was a part of me that really wished you'd failed, you know? So, your 3 names to rank. Number 1, least objectionable. 3, most objectionable.
Okay.
Shedeur Sanders, Bronny James, Charlie Woods.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Your Uncle Dave right now he's fallen to the floor.
Aneurysm.
He's fallen to the floor having an aneurysm.
Oh, God.
I told you it's going to be fun. I was going to have a little fun with last call this week. So which of those 3 would, if he succeeds, will be the least objectionable to you? Again, we're not rooting for anybody, but these are the 3 Nepo babies, right? 3 obvious sports Nepo babies out there right now. They're young. They're getting ready to possibly take that next step. I know my order. You want me to do mine first? While you think about it? Because this looks like you're really having problems with this. Let me do mine.
God, Charlie would be the least objectionable.
Bingo. I'm with you. And I can tell you the rationale. Now keep in mind, kids, I hate Tiger Woods, I hate Deion Sanders, and I hate LeBron James. Okay? If Charlie Woods is going to succeed, he is going to have to do it against the golf course.
That's right. It's on him.
So if he succeeds, just like his father, you can't argue with the fact that he could end up being a great golfer. I hope he stays away from the other pitfalls that ruined his father's career.
Stay away from the Asian hookers.
But I'm with you. Number 1, least objectionable in the nepotism list, Charlie Woods. Because his sport dictates that he will have to prove it on a fairly level playing field.
Yes.
And he will have to go against nature, not against anybody else. So who'd be in the middle? Who's number 2?
God. Shedeur. Because again...
You and I got the same list. Yep.
Again, he either does it or he doesn't.
Shedeur's in that gray area.
It's harder to hide his ineptitude at the quarterback position.
He can still get a little bit of favoritism. Now, the one thing I will say I appreciate about Shedeur is that he told Dion stay away.
Yeah.
He did finally get that through his thick skull.
That said, I need to do this.
Right. We mentioned it earlier when we were talking about Myles Garrett. He's got some issues with the lead foot too that could get him in trouble. So we'll see.
We'll see where we're at. Most unfortunately for him, Bronny James, because his dad has shoved the Lakers into drafting him when he had no business being drafted when he was.
And that is the difference between Shedeur Sanders, the main difference, and LeBron James' kid, Bronny. Shedeur fell without teams going, well, he's Dion's kid, we got to take him. No, the NFL is too smart for that. Those owners are too smart for that. Where if he fails his interviews, if he acts like he doesn't have the drive, if he acts like he's a pampered, spoiled brat, he falls from a potential top 3 pick to the 5th round. And that's what happened.
And
he isn't drafted when he's not even supposed to be drafted. And he's not paid more than people who would normally be drafted at the position he was drafted in because of his father, as you said, forcing the Lakers into it.
Yep. Shedeur played several years in college, developed, showed he has some talent to be able to go to the next level.
Was a high-level, borderline award-winning quarterback.
Right. Bronny played 1 season in college.
What, at USC?
At USC.
And he was mediocre.
Mediocre bench role.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree. And you and I are just simpatico on all this. Your logic, my logic, same things. It's not even close.
No.
Because Bronny should not even be on the Lakers right now. He should still be in college.
This should be his 3rd year playing college ball. He is not ready.
And it's garbage because he is the ultimate example of sports nepotism. Daddy forced this on the Lakers. And we talked about this way, way back earlier in the show. Even the sycophant sports pundits aren't even picking the Lakers to do much damage in the playoffs, if they make it that far. Why? Because it's all been a train wreck. Because the Lakers, one of the most prestigious sports franchises in history, have let one player walk all over them.
You can't let the inmates run the asylum.
And yes, you're going to have people that say, oh, but they won the one championship during the COVID year. Most people scoff at that. Most people dismiss that outright.
Yeah. It wasn't
including
a legit season.
Because again, LeBron James is a mercenary. LeBron James can only win, except for 1 year. I still give him credit for going back to Cleveland and winning that championship. But otherwise, all he can do is assemble other great people around him and act like he's the greatest player of all time. And now he's passing those terrible ethics onto his son, his pampered, spoiled son. Now, unlike Shedeur, Bronny should have told his dad, I don't want to play with you.
Let me
go somewhere else and create my own legacy. No, we got to play together because it'll be historic. And it's all about me, son. It's all about me.
Yep, that's what it is.
All right, I hope you had fun with that.
That wasn't bad.
I wanted to have a little fun with last call. But in the end, kids, I hope you understand how dangerous nepotism is.
It's not a good thing.
That's the point of this last call. I had some fun with it, but the point is, stop worshiping these athletes and these celebrities, especially when it comes to their children. Don't root for their children. You shouldn't root for their children. These people are born into privilege and money. Okay? If they go out and do it on their own, yes, then you can cheer them on. Again, if Charlie Woods ends up being a great golfer,
good for him.
Good for him. Because he will have earned it. Tiger can't change the golf course and make it easier for him without doing it for everybody.
Right.
He can't clear the path. Charlie either plays well enough to advance get through the amateur ranks, get through the Korn Ferry Tour. He is going to have to earn it. Bronny was handed everything on a silver platter. That's the problem with nepotism. But there's no problem here with Sports Frenzy 2.0, kids, as we sign off after another wonderful, near-perfect show.
Always a good time. Don't forget the weekend edition, your Saturday morning hangover cure, your favorite pop culture politically incorrect commentary.
Yep, and as Dave already mentioned, we will be discussing the first of many concert reviews coming up, Great White and Slaughter. We will have a review of Fight or Flight. We will have a review...
Episode 1 of Alien Earth, maybe?
Don't spoil it for me. I haven't...
Oh.
Those are long episodes, man. Those are long episodes.
Yeah, they are. They're mini
and
movies.
And they dropped 2 last night. And I'm like, I gotta have more time to catch up with this.
Yeah, I just watched the 1.
But we will have our review of the 4th and final season of Resident Alien for you as well. So you don't want to miss that. Lots of fun stuff. You'll have dumbasses. We'll have a last call. Fun stuff, kids. So we hope you enjoyed it. Be with us on Saturday morning. We'll get you through your hangover. But until then, he's your Uncle Dave, the Conquistador, Dave Height.
He's your Uncle Kev, the Maestro, Kevin Crane.
And until we do this all over again, say goodnight to the kids, Dave.
Good night to the kids, Dave.